There were 8 people in the whole Ospreys squad who didn't have a tattoo.
Right.
8. So
I'd say it's less now.
Oh, probably. No, no, like, yeah, probably is. But there was like, I think Hook, Henson.
Here we go, lads.
Oh, keep it down.
All right, it's almost time for kickoff. It's the Aviva Fan Studio. We're live from Galway. Hey! I've already managed to knock some of our hardware off the board there. But look, we're with you for some excellent pre-match preview right here from the G Hotel in Galway with Aviva. And we're going to be back again at halftime as well for some halftime reflections with our expert panel, who I'll introduce you to now, and again at full time as well. One of our panel, I've just overheard him saying that he's been involved in a team where only 8 of that team didn't have tattoos. Tommy Bowe, welcome. Do you want to tell us which of the 3 teams you played with? It wasn't the Irish team.
No, it wasn't. No, or the Ulster team. So I'll let you guess.
Make your pick after that,
Jenny with the stats, she'll probably believe
Jenny Murphy, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And John Muldoon, local hero, you're welcome. So we're about a half an hour out from match kickoff here. It's France versus Ireland. Get involved, by the way, hashtag Aviva Fan Studio, and you can come and join us. We're going to be live at the Aviva Stadium next week as Ireland take on Italy in round 2. And the best comment of the day, we're going to reward you with the opportunity to come and join us next week. So do get involved over the next little while. So we decided we do have an expert panel. We've got some amazing talking points here that we've put a lot of deep thought into. Jenny's just been telling us that she spent most of the last 24 hours on Wikipedia picking out some excellent stats.
Blatant lies already. Great. No, one of the stats. Oh well, favourites. We start.
No, give us a stat. Let's get straight in.
Okay, okay. Well, the last time a teenager played in the Six Nations was in 1958. It was an Irishman. It was McComb or McCabe.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
A teenager. Wow.
Yep.
Right.
That's all I've got.
That's
if anyone's impressed with that, that's it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
One of the other stats I was looking at was that I was on Wikipedia as well. Turns out I've been busy. 1975 at home, Tommy, is the last time France lost an opening round game in the Six Nations. But somehow we've got this tag heading over there today. It doesn't always fit that well with us, though.
No. I think over the last couple of years, though, Joe has brought in a sense of the players, the team, they don't read into that sort of stuff. I think that obviously in the media, the guys who have to go out and talk to the media and that sort of stuff will pick up the whole favourites tag, and it's been a big talking point this week. But within the squad, it's very much business as usual. When Joe takes you into camp, everything is fully concentrated on the game at hand. I think looking at the team, Ireland have a good team. There's very few injuries within the squad, certainly coming through from a good autumn. Looking at a couple of the changes and the young fellas brought into the French team, I think the Irish have a great opportunity. But as you say, going across to Paris, it has not been a good hunting ground for Ireland in a long time. So it's going to be a difficult game. But I think I'd be quietly confident that Ireland, if they can start well, they'll come away with a win.
Bunch of new players as well, and that everybody's excited for that. Yeah, we're going to have it. It does, by the way, I should have said, it does feel like a little bit like the sort of country's best retirement party of the weekend, given the panel that we have here. We haven't really touched on that, but John has just come straight from the training ground. The 2 lads were telling me earlier that they're on a bit of a golf tour of the country for the next while. They're sort of taking things handy as the season runs in. And not quite the case, John. You've been out working hard this morning.
Yeah, we were off for a couple of days early in the week and late last week. So we changed up the schedule a little bit, and we were in today. So we got off just after 3. So yeah, just getting ready for Ospreys next week and getting prepared for that. So yeah, but we're not here to talk about Ospreys. We're here to talk about France. So I think Tommy hit the nail on the head there with how the camp, they won't really read into favourites. But if you take the overall bigger picture for Ireland for the next couple of weeks, you think about France, Italy, into break, into Wales, a break, and then Scotland, and then into England. It's setting it up lovely if we can go and actually get the results along the way. Wouldn't it be great to be playing England in the final game? I think on Paddy's Day. Wouldn't that be a great fitting to potentially what could be a great season for us? But France in France. I know the bookies have as his favourites, but
7 points, I think, is the spread on it.
I think you were telling us earlier on when we were chatting over there, Ireland have only beaten France twice since 75 or something, was it? Or?
This man has only been involved in two France wins. So I mean,
and a draw, I think, as well.
A draw, 17. That was the Frozen year, was it?
Yeah, that was. No, I don't know.
Was it 2012? I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You're the stat man.
My stats are
Jenny.
all over.
Nothing.
It's going to be a tough one for Joe. Like the lads have been talking about the level, and it's the thing that everybody seems to know about this level of detail that Joe Schmidt goes into in terms of his opposition analysis. Kind of tough to analyse that French team, given that we haven't kind of seen very much of them.
Yeah, and especially with a new fly half as well as a new coach now. The coach has only been in for a few weeks, so I can't imagine he'll change it up massively. Probably keep it simple, but I'd imagine that would be very frustrating for someone like Joe, who's so detail oriented, and every bit of video that he has will be studied thoroughly. But in this instance, it's probably not a very big file to kind of comb through.
Yeah, and I mean in terms of that, you're grinning.
I was thinking. I was just thinking there when we were talking that I'd say Joe, being Joe, I'd say he's watched every game that Begley Bordeaux have played over the last 18 months to try and get some sort of a handle. For anyone that doesn't know, he was obviously the old Italy coach as well, so he will know a certain element of them, but a sign of a good coach is who goes into a group, figures out what they're good at, and then adapts a game plan, not bring a game plan and try and force them, especially when you don't have much time. So it'll be interesting. I think they'll have to learn quite quickly on their feet, and as me and Tommy were talking about earlier, I think the start will be huge for them. Not knowing what they're bringing, you really got to focus on your own house and focus on starting well, and put a little seed of doubt into French minds. I would imagine, looking at the size of their pack as well, Ireland will be trying to add a bit of tempo and try and get them out of their comfort zone. One stat that I just remembered is the French league is the slowest league in the Northern Hemisphere.
You just pulled that out of
That's why you're going there next year, John, is it?
I told him that.
You heard it there first.
Fit right in.
I should have went there a long time ago.
John's been working on his French.
Yeah, the ball in play, everything. It's the slowest in well, the top competition, obviously, Super 15 is the quickest, the ball in play is the longest, followed by the Pro 14, followed by the Premiership, and then the French League comes in a long last. So it's a slow game, so that's what they'll be trying to, I'd imagine, they'll be trying to get them out of their comfort zone first week. They should be blown a bit.
The Irish cabal here.
Yeah. He'll be playing on till he's about 50. That's the short story coming from this. Just in terms of some of the new players that are heading over, Tommy, so the likes of Jacob Stockdale and James Ryan as well. I think you were 4 or 5 caps in. Again, I've been doing my homework here. Before you played over in France, I think it might be right. So, like, you're a relatively young player, am I right?
Yes, it was one I like to forget, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that was the typical sort of results at that time too. But for those players heading over there, how difficult is it for them, given the nature of that fixture?
It's a really daunting stadium. It's a really daunting atmosphere going over there. As you say, I think it was my 5th cap with Ireland, playing in Paris. It was my 2nd game of the Six Nations, and well, I ended up, Neil Francis gave me a 0 out of 10 after it, so probably wasn't the best day. Wasn't the best memory. I think I came off after 50 minutes, and Trimby came on and had a bloody stormer as well, which makes it even more sickening. But no, it's a daunting place to go to. You know, it only takes 1 or 2 mistakes to get the French crowd on your back, and I think that is what John talked about earlier. If we can start well with the likes of James Ryan, I actually think that, you know, he'll be great today. I think that, you know, he hasn't played a whole pile of rugby for Leinster this year either, but I think that he shows he's got the pedigree between himself and Ian Henderson as the 2 second rows. I mean, what ball carrying second rows that is to go up against what is a massive French pack. Yeah. And then Jacob Stockdale, listen, he's got incredible pedigree. He is a serious talent. I just hope to see himself and Keith Earls get a bit of ball in hand today.
Yeah. I know people here are not that interested to hear us talk about Bundyaki or Robbie Henshaw, right? Sort of.
Okay, good.
Right. We've got our centre expert here. So these 2 guys are obviously used to playing alongside each other. Jenny, they would have done so for a long time at Connacht. Talk to us a little bit about Henshaw at 13, if you would, just about the differences that he'll have from that. I heard Matt Williams on the TV last night saying that he thinks he's a out-and-out 12 and that's his game. The differences between, John's not having it, the difference between 12 and 13 for a start, and how you think that combination is going to go today?
Well, I'll agree with John's shake of the head first. I think he's capable, he's that skillful a player. He's able to slot in at 13. He's been doing it at Leinster this season. He's looking phenomenally well. We've all seen him in a Connacht jersey, in Leinster jersey, and in Ireland with those big, strong runs. He's a physical presence, but he's an extremely skillful, well-balanced runner. And we'll see him now, the game against Montpellier, absolutely whipping those passes out to the wing. And I think that will be a big part of our game today, getting those wingers involved. And Robbie Henshaw will be a key part in getting them kind of into the game. And with Bundy, his first game with Ireland, he looked great in the November test. Like, he's baying for blood. Within the first 5 minutes, he'd already, sent off the South African tight head prop. So that's not too bad going, I don't think.
Off injured,
I think it'll be a really nice combo. And obviously with Robbie playing outside or inside of Jared Payne, who's a fantastic defender, and Marshall in that 13 jersey, he'll have learned a lot, and you can see that in his game this year. So I'm just looking forward to seeing them rip it up on the pitch today, and hopefully maybe get a try or two from the centre partnership.
So Robbie's the vocal one of that combination. Is that the expectation?
No, they're both going to be vocal, but you do want your 13 to be organising in defence. They've got maybe a little bit more time to look up and see what the offence is doing, and they've got a bit more space and time when they have ball in hand to work with. So I'm looking forward to seeing him go on a few runs, and Bundy Aki gets in these really nice positions to either give the offload or get it. So, and they're big, strong boys. So when you're cutting a line off one of those runners, they're going to get yards.
In regards to Robbie being a 13 or 12, a Ferrari can pull a trailer, but you don't want your Ferrari pulling a trailer. So he can do the job, but you get it all tractor in a 12 and you get the Ferrari outside him. And we've got a good combination with you've got a good combination there with Bundy and Robbie. Robbie's best position is 15, absolute fact.
Really?
And he wants to play 15.
Right.
But because Robbie is Robbie, you need him on the ball. And Robbie went to Leinster and they didn't have a natural 12. And then Ireland didn't have a natural 12, so Robbie ended up playing 12. You speak to Robbie, he wants to play 13. You speak to Robbie, you ask Robbie who he wants inside him, and it's Bundy. The fact of the matter is, Bundy is very good at what he does, and he draws people in, and he gives people outside him and around him time and space. And if you're Robbie Henshaw, you're looking forward to playing with Bundy, because you're going to get on the ball, you're going to have that little bit of extra time, you're going to be able to throw those slinky passes. When you're at 12, you don't have that time, and that's the difference. I don't think we've seen the best of Robbie. I had a good chat with Robbie after he came back from the Lions, and he was obviously very, very disappointed. I said to him before he went, I hope you get a shot at 13, and I was kind of hoping someone would put their hand up at 12 so he could play 13, and it never happened to him. But going back to Bundy for a second.
The Massey Ferguson in this relationship.
Exactly. But like, Bundy is a great character. Obviously, a lot of people in this room will know Bundy. Bundy was extremely nervous going up in November. You spent 3 years abusing lads on the opposite side of the team, and suddenly you're pulling on the jersey with them. He spent the first 2 weeks in his room up in Carton House, so he'll be a lot more comfortable this time round, and it's a little bit. It'll be a little bit more easier for him, and you can even see him, his interactions on social media and everything's a little bit more, you can tell he's more relaxed and everything, and I hope to see the proper Bundy. He started well in the South African game, but I don't think we really saw what he was capable of, and I would love to see the two boys back together, and they're rooming with each other, and they get on well, and I think that partnership is only going to get better and better, and hopefully we can see it today.
Good stuff. Did you say Robbie wants to play at 15 or he wants to play at 13?
I think Robbie's best position is 15.
15.
Yeah.
He's never going to get that opportunity to be given.
Never. No. But you need Robbie in there. He's such an intelligent player. You need him close to the ball. And to me, playing him 12 is a travesty to him. But it's like everything. You need the best players on the pitch. And if Robbie's your best 12, then you play him 12 if you've got no other options. But thankfully we've got the Massey Ferguson inside him now, so we're grand.
Keep your questions coming in, by the way. Hashtag Aviva Fan Studio to get into the action, and come and join us at the Aviva Fan Studio next weekend as Ireland take on Italy at the Aviva Stadium. You could come and join us. It's a pretty good day out. So get your comments into us. We'll pick the best one, and you'll come and join us next weekend. Just on that selection, Tommy, in terms of the various positions and that sort of stuff, Rob Kearney obviously gets the nod at 15. People kind of see it as the, rightly or wrongly, as the kind of conservative approach, almost from Joe Schmidt. There's a bit of a glamour, obviously, to get Jordan Larmour involved somewhere. There's a bit of a glamour to get Joey Carberry involved somewhere, but I'm taking it by the shake of your head. You're endorsing the Rob Kearney selection.
Yeah, listen, I think that I hope that Jordy Larmour does get a run out maybe off the bench in the next game or two. I think he's a serious talent. Having come up against him a couple of weeks ago, you know, he's got electric feet. He is a real. He's the sort of player that gets people off their feet in a stadium, really buzzing. But to throw him in for such a big game, I think would have been tough. I think with Jacob Stockdale as well, being a young guy, being his first Six Nations match, you know, to have two young guys getting into such a big match would have been the wrong way. And I think that Joe Schmidt, listen, he knows that with the game plan that I presume Ireland will go with, if we can get good set piece ball, we're going to be sending the likes of Bundy, who will be licking his lips at getting down that 10 channel today. I think between himself and Robbie, they are going to be able to get some serious go forward. And any time that things slows down at all, I think the back three are going to be peppered. You know, with a new first capper at 15 for France, with the two wingers who are incredible going forward with ball in hand. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near as confident with ball in the air. And I'm looking forward to seeing Rob, you know, Robbie Henshaw, Jacob Stockdale, Keith Earls, you know, chasing after these balls that are going to come raining down on them. And I reckon that'll be where certainly in the first half we're going to turn France on the back foot.
We're about 15 minutes out from kickoff. I wanted to get a sense from each of you what you're going through at this stage of the game. I can imagine the nerves, Jenny, are in full-fledged at this point. You're probably getting out onto the pitch and getting ready for battle. How are you feeling sort of this proximity to kickoff?
Well, in France, especially if we're playing down in the south of France, the stadium is actually insane. You're underneath the stands.
Down in Toulouse normally.
Down in Toulouse tonight for the girls, and you're sitting down, sticking on the jersey you've gone through. You'll be kind of going the warm up will be kind of done now, and you'll feel the vibrations. Be packed out stadium, be over 25,000 at the game tonight, and yeah, it's but you've already done the homework. You know what you want to do, and it's just, I think you're just excited and looking forward to getting out in the pitch at this stage, because nerves are once the national anthem starts, you're done, and that nervous energy leaves you, and you just kind of want to do your job.
John?
Yeah, I think the big thing is once you're on the pitch, warm up, etc., you're focused in, and it's that 5 minutes before you go out to the warm up, and then that couple of minutes before when you get back in. And with international rugby, you obviously have to go through the national anthems and all that, and that's when the tension starts to build. Because everything's so regimented, and you're sticking to a schedule, bang, 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 and then you get out and you're standing there in your jacket, and that's when the brain starts to tick over, and that's the minute or two that you love, but it's also the minute or two where it's the butterflies start going in your stomach. But at that stage, you just want to get on with it. That's why you can see the built-up energy coming out of everyone. So
while Tommy tells us about his pre-match rituals, you can jump up here and just give us your score prediction. I'll get you each to do that. Tommy, yourself, are you more of a relaxed character at that stage, or?
For me, it was always until I got on the team bus going to the stadium. I used to hate the morning and afternoon, especially over in France. Generally, they're a lot later kickoffs. You know, we played one game at 9 o'clock at night over there, and it's just such a long build up to it. But once I get onto the bus, I know all that routine. I'm out of the food. I don't have to eat any more food. I don't have to try and force any more food down my neck. You're into just game mode. And when you start to see, you know, a few Irish supporters with their flags, or you start to see the French, you know that it's game time now. And that once I get onto the bus, you know, all that sort of pressure leaves for me. I used to just really relish it from there on in.
Getting into it, good stuff. All right, well, look, we've got 2 wins on the board here so far, with a bit of a qualification about Bundy man of the match. Bundy man of the match, everybody.
Get on.
So we're going, I think the spread is sort of 7 points, so we'll really well cover that here. 25-17, John, you're kind of confident that, I guess, Ireland get out of the blocks pretty quickly. And
Yeah, I think the key thing will be start well, get out of the blocks.
It's going to be a masterpiece, by the way.
Yeah.
22.
France will score, definitely with the back three. Well, you can change,
We'll go
Tommy, go on.
20, sure.
I think
it'll be going to be tighter than people think, I think.
I think France will definitely score. Their two wingers are exceptionally good going forward, and Tommy hit that in the head earlier. They're not the best under the high ball. I won't even attempt to pronounce the right winger, but Teddy Thomas is very good going forward as well. So I think they'll definitely score a couple of tries. And it's just, we know Ireland don't give away an awful lot of penalties as well. That's one of Joe's big rocks. You don't give away penalties, and if you do, even if it's not your fault, he'll still kill you. So there won't be an awful lot of opportunities, I don't think, for them to kick.
Briefly, Jenny, you're expecting a bit, sort of, Ireland to kick on a little bit more than John, obviously.
Aye, only a little bit. No, I think once Ireland get into the swing of things, there'll be kind of hopefully scores of plenty. But again, I think we will leak one or two. But I'm fairly confident we're going to get the win. So just looking forward to kick-off now.
Good stuff. We've got some good questions coming in. We've got John's man of the match prediction here. We're going to come back to all of that good stuff later on. But for the minute, give it up for John, Tommy and Jenny. We're live here at the G Hotel in Galway as we continue our build-up to France against Ireland. Kick-off in about 10 minutes' time. Join us again at half-time right here on the Off the Ball social channels. I think we're shouting for Ireland, are we? Yeah. Come on, Ireland. See you again shortly.
What time is it? We must be nearly